field techniques. And his research interests focus on processes controlling rock-sill failure in situ and remote monitoring techniques for state health sensing, which is basically what he's going to be talking about tonight with respect to arches, investigating hazards, impacts of large landslides, and he spent 5 years studying rock-sill hazard assessment at ETH in Switzerland. So, and he also runs the University of Utah Geohazard Research Group.
It was not connected.
So I would appreciate if you would join me in welcoming Jeff Moore.
Thanks, Tom. I used to be yelling when we moved into groups of students. So if it's too loud, it's okay that unit comes down. It's need to be louder, okay if unit comes up. I kind of withheld from that, but I was sitting at the Mexican food restaurant Pica's. Last night with my family, I got the email saying that I had been granted tenure. So that's something, so I mean, it's such a strange and big moment in someone's life. And I think I've been working towards that for easily 15, 20 years. And sitting there here at the restaurant, Jackson, that's a moment that we're going to do. Here with the family, so first of all, just a big thanks for the invitation to come up. Family and I haven't been up here before, it's the first time. We're hanging out streaming today, which is wonderful, and so thanks a lot for that. And without further ado, I'm going to tell you about research that I've been doing with my group of graduate students for about the last 5 years, studying natural vibration and vibration characteristics of rock arches in Utah. I'm a little advanced now. A bit of company chase why we do this. This is Wall Arch in Arches National Park. And if you visited Arches National Park before 2008, you might remember Wall Arch. The trail used to run directly underneath it. And this arch was among the 10 biggest arches in National Park. Was the most graceful, or it wasn't the most graceful. But it collapsed on the night of August 4th, one of the busiest times of the year. And I think, since the trail used to run underneath it, there was pretty much always somebody hanging out underneath it. I think there was a big moment for the park to realize that these arches may also represent a certain kind of hazard. Now,
Let me interrupt. Sure. We get some reverberation for that. So let's try to pull this down about like this. So. So try that down.
okay, how's this one? I'll have to do it to handle things so if I higher? Better?
Better.
Okay, good. I'll look like this. Right, so for reference now, the trail runs up this fin, which is a fair bit of conservation for the Park Service, because every now and again somebody falls in there and gets sort of whipped. Not to mention a whole bunch of trash. But the point of this slide is that, the Park Service has a kind of interesting and challenging mandate to open these areas for people and to give people the opportunity to have these experiences, but also to keep people safe when they come to the park. So I think the question that we could have asked at the time was, could we have known this arch was going to collapse? No, I can also.
That might actually work better, especially if people walk into this side and go this front.
If I talk like this, can you all hear me?
Yes.
It's more than normal for me. Anyway, right, so landscape arch. Longest arch in North America, 88 meters long. An exceptional rare beauty, the slender floor is only 2 meters wide at its thinnest point. And this is a view of landscape arch that if you visited the park before the 90s, you used to get. There used to be a trail that would run up underneath the arch, up into an alcove right about back here, and you would look out underneath the arch, the landscape beyond. That's how it was called, landscape arch. Now, in 1991 and again in 1993, a number of large slabs explosively detached from the bottom of this arch, and here you can see the bite out of where one of those slabs fell. It was actually caught on video, and for whatever reason, I can't find that video on the internet. You think the internet has everything and everlasting memory, but then there was a kind of still from the moment of it. So at the time when the slab fell here, the Park Service had this trail underneath the arch, which they of course immediately closed temporarily. And then you can imagine what happens next. You know, there's been a rockfall for a week. Is it safe to open the trail? Now it's been a month. Is it safe to open the trail? Now it's been a year. Is it safe to open the trail? And then in 1993, there's more rockfalls that come. And now, what do we do? So at that, now they have decided to permanently close this trail. And you can see the flip side of that, where being underneath Landscape Arch and looking out is an exceptional experience. Having been there and took that particular picture, it's amazing, it's huge. It really gives you a different perspective. So on the one hand, they've taken an experience away for visitors in the interest of safety. These are the kinds of difficult questions that I just want to highlight. And I especially want to highlight that in all this decision making, there's no data involved. There's no objective facts to draw upon. It's all the feelings of various geologists, and they'll pull in professionals, and they'll look at the abutments of wall arch and say, is it done collapsing? And these are tough questions. Last one, this is a very small arch, beautiful little southern feature called Rainbow Arch. Here's how it used to look in a collapse. Actually, this year, we were monitoring it not when it collapsed, fortunately or unfortunately for our project. And we were especially sort of watching this particular crack over time. If you looked underneath the arch, it looked like this, and it looked like it could go at any moment. Now, this particular arch is located right near the road and right near Highway 191, which is sort of off the picture down here. And every time trucks pass, they make the arch vibrate. So it's not a stupid question to ask, did, 50 years of truck travel on the highway, which is less than 100 yards away, have some effect in hastening the natural demise of this arch? And as a group of predominantly geologists now, if I put that question to you, I think you can realize how hard that would be to actually answer with any certainty, especially if there's consequences on the other side of that, especially if now there's some action and a manager has to stand behind that recommendation. So a big goal of what we do is trying to provide data for balancing these questions of conservation and management of what are some of the world's most unique geological features. Utah has thousands of natural arches. We have a Google Earth file with 4,600 of them with a location. But when you look and see how many of them are just along highways, you realize that how many more are yet to be discovered. There's thousands, there's maybe 1,000 more to discover. So here's the main message of my talk. 3 points. I'll say it here, I'll say it again in the middle and at the end. Point number 1, rock arches are constantly vibrating. Point number 2, the tune they sing measures their health. Point number 3, we've only begun listening to what they have to say. This you might recognize as Corona Arch. That's our undergrad student, Ben White. You'll see his smiling face again and again. A big help in all of our measurements. Before I go any further, I'm not going to rob your immediate question, the tune they sing. So what is this tune? I'm going to play it for you now. Rock arches are constantly in motion. They're shaking around every second of every day. Everything on the ground surface is doing this. This building is right now. And by recording that motion with a seismometer, we can actually turn that into sound, basically, so you can hear it. Now, this is a thing that's always happening. It's just not something that humans can ever sense. The vibrations are too subtle to feel. You can, anyway, if it did produce sound, it would be at infrasonic frequencies, which you couldn't hear anyway, and it would be extremely subtle, because the vibrations are tiny. Just because we can't feel it doesn't mean it's not real. So by recording, we use a seismometer to record the motion, speed that up anywhere between 10 and 50 times, and it makes it odd. So here you're going to hear a corona arch. I didn't say it was a good song. There's a corona arch. Corona arch has resonant frequencies about 3, 5, and 8 hertz. And so you hear those kind of things. There's a rainbow bridge. Now, we're missing a bit of the low, the deep rumble. Rainbow Bridge is really an exceptional arch, one of the largest in the world, just a monstrous feature. If you're not paying attention, you really will. And it vibrates at about 1 hertz at its fundamental frequency. And it just feels powerful when you hear this. This is a watchable bridge. Okay. It's a summer song. Not everybody's. A watchable bridge is a Natural Bridges National Monument, really out in the middle of nowhere, Utah. Just awesome country. That's me and my grad student Paul up there, working, of course, with Park Service permission. This is a feature called Aqueduct Arch. It's on BLM land near Indian Creek. So that's Paul, and this is his first ever drone flight. You have to walk down this like horrible slope of Kayenta boulders, and up to this windgate slope where you basically are, ready to die, and he just vaulted a drone out into space. So I think he's really brave. You'll see Corona Arch coming up. So what was that? Well, again, rock arches, like any structure at the Earth's surface, is constantly vibrating. And things that make arches vibrate are wind, earthquakes, but just the ambient seismic energy from the Earth is enough. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, is there any change in the resonance with warming and cooling?
Precisely so. We will get to that in maybe 20 slides. But yes, that's kind of, hey, don't give away the...
Sorry.
Yes, absolutely so. So all these different energy sources are supplying energy to the ground surface, if you like. And arches, like a tower or engineered bridge, have a set of natural modes of vibration. And those natural modes are just a function of their material properties and geometry. When the input energy is coincident with the natural mode of vibration, then you get resonance. And that's actually what we're measuring. We like to call it ambient resonance because there's not necessarily one specific source all the time that's stimulating resonance. Certainly we're not, out there stomping or using a shaker wheel or anything like that. It's just ambient resonance. We record that using seismometers. This is a broadband seismometer, phenomenal instrument, incredibly sensitive and incredibly durable. Used to have to carry these at a certain tilt angle in a big box, and were super delicate, and they would break all the time. This guy you can just throw in a backpack and go. We don't adhere to the rock in any special way. If we leave it overnight, we put a poster putty on it. It's kind of removable tack putty that you might hang on your wall. There's Ben again, always with a smile on his face, and this is on Rainbow Bridge. So this is a sensor that we placed right about here on Rainbow Bridge, which happens to be right about there. And we were basically only allowed to go that far because they didn't want us to walk up this slope. And this fellow here, being stern, it was his job to make sure we didn't walk up the slope. So he couldn't catch us stern. But it was, anyway, quite an adventure to get there, as you can imagine. So we have the sensor here. It's recording data. We like to